Good morning, everyone. Thank you for making it here this morning on a lovely day. Some of you have joined me on my convoluted backward route from Stockbridge, which is a little analogy of life. It's you could take the quick route, and just go straight to the point and straight to the source, but it's the twists and turns on the way that are fun, isn't it? So, hopefully. To my left, I have a gentleman called Jorge, who works with the Lotta program with Ferrari, who's going to explain it now to us. I love visitations from these guys because it's like the headmaster coming in, or the professor if you've been to university or whatever, and they kind of teach you a new way of learning. And I'm proud to have said that Ferrari have been doing that for 22 years to us. So I will hand you over to Professor Jorge. He's not really, he can drive it. And enjoy the show.
I feel like it's Harry Potter. Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming. My name is Jorge Clara, like Glenn said. It's very difficult to pronounce my name, so you can just call me George. That would be totally fine. As Glenn said, I'm instructor for the Corso Pilota. Normally I should be shouting at you on the track when you do well, when you do wrong. But today I'm presenting to you an amazing car, which is very important to us because it's not just one more model that we are bringing to you. It's actually going to become something very special and important to us and for you guys. Because at the end of the day, this is going to be the sphere that we're going to use to show everybody what a supercar hybrid is. And as well as going to become our challenge, it's going to become our GT3, so it's a very important thing. The first V6 plug-in hybrid for the road in Ferrari. I can't tell it's going to surprise everybody and anybody that tastes it for the first time. And now I'm going to be a little bit annoying, and I'm going to move you all up in front of the big TV. I know there's not much space, but you can't even get close to the car and everything, so use this space because the videos from that angle, you will not like it, because the car looks like a micro machine from that angle. So use all the space that you can. Later on I will move you again, so that's why I'm going to be annoying. Use also that space if you want to. So let's start with the very beginning. I'm going to be as short as I can, as light as I can. So the concept behind creating this car is very simple. It's a question which is, what is a fun car to drive? And it's a question that we have been asking for many years. We know the answer, but we wanted to fill the gaps from many years ago, because when we came in with the new V8 turbos, we were asking for things that were lacking, like the sound that we have in the 812 Superfast, the best sound in the market, atmospheric V12, and we understand this. Also for myself, driving one thing to an Especial, from an Especial to a 488, it was like the big change. Turbos are powered, but they were lacking the Ferrari feeling. So also, you mentioned agility, performance, and go-kart feeling, which is something really important as well, and for racing drivers, super important as well. So we took all this information and we came in with a new engine, new hybrid system, new way of placing things, and as well a new design that you have never seen before from us. That to my eyes looks a lot like an LMP car in the Man Series, like a proper race car, because you have a big windshield that covers pretty much the whole chassis. You have a short nose and low with no holes on it, so it generates a lot of downforce by itself, just by the design of it, and a low and long back. That many of you that know the brand for many years, you know that we are coming from a heritage of the Testarossa, the 308, the 355, etc., which they had a 90-degree angle on top of the engine. And some of them had even a spoiler on top, like the 308. It obviously will not perform like this one, because it's super advanced. But the concept is there. And now I will show you 3 videos, which is the way we redefine how fun to drive, and the first one will be our engine. Enjoy. Alright, so our engine, V6, so half the size of the V12, 2.9 and 2 liters, and 120 degrees. So this angle is super important because it's allowing us to put the turbos inside the engine or on top of it, as we might say. And with this, what we gain is a lot of space, and we can take the engine very low into the chassis. Later on, when I open the cover for you, you will be able to see the engine, but you will have to lean inside the car to be able to actually see it and see how low it is. And you will ask me why the top of the engine is not red, like every Ferrari ever, but it is actually red. It's just that it's wide open, so you will have to look on the sides as well. It delivers 663 horsepower in the fuel engine, 740 Nm of torque, and it works up until 8,500 RPM. For a turbo engine, you know, it's a big number. And as well, this V here is called the hot V because all the heat generated by it is reduced. We reduce turbo lag, and as well for aerodynamics, I will explain it to you later. It's very useful as well. Now, the electric engine, which is plugged where the gearbox goes, so it's in between the gearbox and the fuel engine, increases this power for 830 horsepower in total. And this power is only rear-wheel drive, so don't be scared, it's not a crazy force or anything like that. We know we have the SF90 with 1,000 horsepower, but it's 4x4 on demand, and that was very controllable. But this one, you'll be surprised how aggressive you will be on the gas without generating any like oversteering or anything like this, because it's a car that has a shorter wheelbase, so it rotates super quick, so you will be looking outside the corner in a straighter line than with any other car. So you can be a lot more aggressive with this one than with any other, even though you have a lot more power on the back. Then also the position for the engine is very useful because the transition between both engines, the electric and the fuel, it's very smooth. So you won't have a lack of performance on your pedal. You will have power however you want it, whenever you want it, and this is very important for the new hybrids because you know some of them you can really feel a change when you are jumping from one to the other. The batteries are located behind the seats at the bottom of the chassis, and we keep this gravity center as low as possible like this. And you will have a plug on the left to charge it at home as well, and the batteries will be recharged with the brakes and the fuel engine. But in qualifying mode, there will be no charging. You will have 830 horsepower at all times. It will drain the batteries in 3 laps, more or less. You will have, I mean, it's a lot of power. So 25 kilometers of full electric range. So if you are in hybrid mode and you jump in E mode, you will be able to be in the city just using the batteries, not using any fuel, and being quiet, not waking up your neighbors, which is something that you will be able to do with this one, the fuel engine mode. And it's something that I feel is a very Ferrari feeling, that when people in front of you are scared of listening to you coming. And this is what this does. This is what is filling all the gaps that we were having with our older models. Now, let me play the second video, which is design and aerodynamics, and I will jump right into the information. Aerodynamically, as I told you before, resembles a lot a racing car, and we generate 360 kilos of downforce just by the design of it at 250 kilometers an hour. Also, the dynamic aero, which is what you just saw in the video, this spoiler that comes out and in by itself, it's always on the man of the car, and it increases this downforce for 100 kilos. And this is super important because we have a car that obviously with the amount of speed that it can carry in a straight line is super quick to arrive to a corner. It can brake super late and rotate super quick. But when that happens, all the weight of the car is transferred very aggressively, so you will lose grip. The back part will float, the front part will float. So this extra air that we gain with the wing on the back is keeping the car on the line. So you will transfer the weight very aggressively without having any issue generating understeer or oversteer. The design is inspired in the 250LM, and for the ones that know the model, you can see that very much on the back part of the car. And to give you an insight of how much work goes into making something like this, I talked before about the spoiler, and this spoiler is super important because it makes the whole aerodynamics of the car work. So if this wasn't here, the air will come in, generate a vortex, and the air will not go into the back spoiler like it should. So it won't generate as much downforce as it should. So what this does is just laminates the air, generating a fake engine cover. So if you see the form of the engine cover here, has like has curves, etc. It's not flat, and this is because there's a thermal plate in the red part, and that throws the heat of the engine in a way that speeds up as well this airflow that comes on top of the engine, and we generate extra downforce like this. It's a lot of stuff going on as well, like wheelbase, etc., and makes this car super quick in mid-corner. And as well, this color that you're looking at, I recommend it to you if you want a red Ferrari, because this one has aggressive lines, but they are curvy. So if you use the Rosso Corsa, etc., flat colors will hide the aggressivity of this car. So this is the launching color. This is a little bit deep metallic color, a little bit more dark than the normal version, and it will show a lot more the aggressivity of this design. Interior, super minimalistic, very like the SF90, very like a race car. Everything is looking at the driver, and this is very important because remember you're driving 820 horsepower, so you better be looking to the road and not to a 50 inches screen on your right. So we very well placed this curved screen, 16 inches, and you will see the steering wheel got smaller, thinner. The pads for changing are bigger now, so you will be able to have really good driving position with a heads-up display as well. And you won't have to be moving your hands around at all. Just you can change the climate from here, but you can also do it directly from the steering wheel as well. The Neo steering wheel, which is tactile, you have the e-Manettino on the left and the normal Manettino on the right, and it's everything designed to be as easy as possible, even though we have still some analog buttons, so we don't lose the Ferrari feeling on the steering wheel. But it will be super easy once you get used to use it. The gearbox controller, same one as the SF90 because it's the same gearbox. The only thing that changes is the rear gear is inside the gearbox, is not with an electric motor. And this gearbox is amazing because you get two cars in one. You can use it for an everyday, super smooth, for traveling with this 8-gear, low consumption, low RPMs, and at the same time you jump into race mode. And what I like about it as a racing driver is that it doesn't unbalance the weight of the car. So you can go flat out, long corners, change gear, and the car will not be shaking. It will be going in like butter, and the car will stay on the line. And that's what we want. We want performance in corners. The screen for the co-pilot, everybody else makes it standard in this mode. So you will be the co-pilot will be able to change music, climate, the GPS, etc. And even if you have the comfortable seats as well, the position of the seats and everything, you will even see the map in the screen, and you can guide your driver a lot better. Always forget about that bit. So now driving dynamics, the last video, I jumped into the last part of the presentation, and we will see the car. Okay, enjoy. total difference with the F8, which is 50 millimeters less of wheelbase. And this is what is giving us this go-kart feeling, the agility in mid-corner, the capability to rotate the car as quick as possible. Best weight to power ratio of its category, 177 kilos per horsepower, and the new ABS Eagle, which is awesome. We like to say this number, which is 125 miles an hour to 0 in 107 meters, which is something that I don't want you to test on the road at all. If you have an emergency, you will be able to stop the car as quick as possible, but what this is telling you is that when you are on the track or doing a route with Glenn, which I heard you guys had fun, whenever you get into a corner, you can brake super late in comparison with any other car. And this ABS, I think, is the first one from an everyday use car that is designed like the one that we use in GT3. It's an ABS that is actually helping you carry speed into corners. And this is great because then if you mix all these things together, you have a car that obviously 830 horsepower. I'm really quick to get to the corner. Then I brake super late, I rotate it super quick, and then I get on the gas super aggressively because I'm already looking outside of the corner in a straight line. So corner speed on this thing, incredible. The Assetto Fiorano, what you saw in the first video, is the track spec for this model, like you saw in the SF90, 15 kilos less, carbon fiber pretty much everywhere, even the plate on top of the engine cover, which will be not glass, the plastic, the thermal plastic, so we take all the weight possible, will be carbon fiber as well. And I don't forget the suspensions, racing suspensions, you cannot put the lift in the Assetto. And something that I want you to notice is this part here. In the Assetto, it's a little bit, a lot more aggressive than in the normal version. It is sharp shaped, and it just makes the front a little bit wider. It changes the whole design of the car, even though it's a little change. Because in the normal version, the piece, it just doesn't come out at all. It's just a carbon fiber piece at the bottom. This is the last slide that I'm going to show you. It's super important because this is telling you where the Trinity 6 stands against the SF90 and the F8. And super simple to understand. This is fun to drive against performance. And in performance, we have a clear winner, which is the SF90 Stradale. You have it over there in red and a silver one on the other part of the dealership. It's 1,000 horsepower, 4x4, 3 electric engines, the most powerful V8 in the market. It's a bit faster than the Ferrari Fiorano for a second. It's something incredible. Then in fun to drive, we have the Trinity 6 GTB, which is designed for it. And that's why it's a clear winner. And it's the car that is going to give you the most pure Ferrari feeling. It's the car that you're going to drive to go by breath if you want to, and you will enjoy that drive. It's the car that you will jump on the track, and you will be faster than any of the cars that are around. And it's the car that is going to make you have the biggest joy of all of our models. And that's why it's designed, and that's why it's becoming our GT3 and our challenge. And as well, you have this distance here, which is important. But doesn't mean that the F8 is a bad car. Actually, one of the best Ferraris we ever built, and one of my favorite, actually. So this distance is important for this number, 81 seconds. And it's the time that the Trinity 6 does in Fiorano, and it's 1.5 seconds faster than this. And that means the difference between pole position against stay home, because you're super slow. And it's the same that we have from the 430 to the 458 Italia. And for the ones that know the brand for that long, that was a change of generation. For us, it was very important because the 458 opened the door to a new world of clients, new world of racing cars, etc. So this is telling you this is not a replacement for the F8. It's actually a new breed of machines. Different engine, first V6 for the road, and well, actually something incredible that surpasses our expectations and the expectations that I guess you have from us. As well, 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds and 0 to 125 in 7.3, which as well I don't recommend any of you to test on the road, but obviously it's your choice. You know, the food gets really heavy when you get in a Ferrari, and more on these things that are super quick. Now, I will play the last video. You will be able to hear the engine very well, but once the video finishes, the live show will start, which the sun is actually our enemy on this, but it looks good. So I recommend you when the video finishes to move quickly in front of the car, so the presentation of the car looks cooler. And for the videos for Instagram and on Facebook, etc., looks really good. Enjoy it. 296 GTB, right from Maranello to your house, guys. And actually, notice what I mentioned before about the Assetto. This part right here, as you can see, there is no sharp tail or anything. It really changes the whole design once you have the big piece put on the car. This is the Giallo Tristrato, which is a very important color in Ferrari, and it's 3-layered. It's a little bit metallic, so it helps along the lines of the car. And we have also the racing seats on this one, so you can test them. Also, one new thing for the ones that had racing seats in Ferrari before, there is no pump anymore to go up and down, it's electric. So it's very useful if you're electric. You will love as well the space in the boot for luggage, etc. You can really travel with these cars. You can come on our tours, you can come to the Corso Pilota right from here to the factory and bring a lot of stuff with you. And now I will open it for you. You can sit down, ask me any questions, I will be here around. If you want to order 1 to 6 of them, the whole team of Meridian is capable of taking any order. Glenn is ready. And as well, my friend Martina, which is on the back, and you met her at the entrance. She has a survey for you. Once we finish it, we will give you a present. It will help us to make more events, to invite you to more events, and also you will get something after listening to me for so long, which I know is hard, early in the morning on a Sunday. Thank you guys for coming. I know it's difficult, and really appreciate that you are here. Enjoy the car, and if you have any questions, I'm here. Thank you.